What's up, everybody? I'm SJF95fighter, and today I want to open up my lounge series again. I did a previous video on this when I talked about Applejack's parents, and I love the response that you guys gave. It was so much fun to be able to talk and discuss this kind of topic and interact with you guys. But something new has caught my attention, and that's come with a fairly recent announcement of Games Workshop and Marvel Comics partnering up together to make Warhammer 40k comic books. Now, I am well aware that in the entire 40k community, there's a bit of mixed reactions to this. As Luton has stated in his video, lots of people have been acting with either guarded optimism or outright skepticism and fear. Because Warhammer 40k has such a deep fandom of an entire franchise that's been growing for over 30 years. And it is an amazing franchise that I absolutely love to bits. And I also really like comic books as well as the Marvel franchise. I love the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but keep in mind that Marvel Comics and Marvel Studios are different companies. They might share the same name, but they are different. They are not necessarily connected. And most people will think, well, if Marvel start doing Warhammer Comics, that can lead down the line to Warhammer movies done in the corny way that the MCU have been done. I, for one, agree with Arch Warhammer when he said that if we could get a Horus Heresy movie with the budget and the level of visual effects like in Avengers Endgame and Infinity War, my god, that'd be so awesome. I mean, there are so many fragmented and small stories already done and made for the Horus Heresy. It's just littered with hundreds of stories. You could literally pick up at any point of the Horus Heresy at all. Now, I wanted to make this video because I've seen a few people make videos about this subject and have given their thoughts on it, which is a bit of a mixture of, this could be a flop, this could be good. Marvel has been known quite lately for being very political. Now, I wanted to leave that can of worms alone because other people have created videos about it for you. If you want to see videos that talk about the community and all that kind of stuff, I highly recommend you go watch Luton or Arch's videos on the subject. I wanted to focus a lot more on less about what this might impact onto the Warhammer community and more about, can Marvel actually do this? Can they pull off and make comics that capture the gritty darkness that makes Warhammer 40k? Now, of course, you always got those money-grabbing corporations that grab big franchises that can potentially give them a big revenue to be able to make more money and use that to milk as much as they want without really caring about making actual good content. Case in point, Disney murdering the Star Wars huge series. Ugh. Alright, just a little side note, because I'm the kind of people that was born around the time of the Star Wars prequel series coming out. And so, I'm kind of in the general area of people in the Star Wars fandom that actually liked Jar Jar Binks. And then there's a whole group of fans that didn't like him. But I think I can agree with most people in the Star Wars fandom that this is just milking the nostalgia off of people that love Star Wars in a simple effort to just get more money. Now, I really hope that Marvel doesn't do this to Warhammer. I really do hope. But I actually am very optimistic about this partnership because I actually think Marvel could actually do this. I already said I know a lot about comic books, but I did a little bit of extra research to come to my main conclusion that Marvel can capture the grim darkness of the far future, where there is only war. I'm not just talking about how Marvel has done Civil War, pitted superheroes against each other, and Marvel is very well known for its epic scale and the superpowers of all the heroes and villains in the Marvel comics are shown very well in the same sense of, the Space Marines and all the epicness that is Warhammer 40k. Because when most people look at the Marvel Cinematic Universe and see these big, flashy superheroes that are always so heroic, they save the day and everything's all good. Even though most of the Marvel Universe is like that, Marvel Comics does not shy away from dark and gritty stories. Most of their comics were catered towards a PG audience, trying to sell comics to all ages, trying to make everything all good. And they still go through and make comic books catered more towards adults with their dark themes and their dark, very dark, gritty stories. I'm talking the kind of dark that Spider-Man makes a literal deal with the devil and gives up his life, his love for MJ, and his unborn child to bring back Aunt May. Yes, an actual deal with the devil. This was a thing that happened. There's a lot of mixed thoughts about it, but it just goes to show that Marvel do dark stories, and that's not even the darkest of them all. I think one of the darkest that they've ever done is Ruins. An alternate universe is like where everything that can go wrong in the Marvel universe does go wrong. There are so many examples in this comic alone that shows you exactly why Marvel can do Warhammer 40k comics. I mean, the art style and the implications of this story. It's dark and depressing, which is exactly what Warhammer is and what it needs to be captured in a comic book if it is to do well. In Ruins, you've got so many dark things going on, like Wolverine's skin is clumping off because the adamantium in his bones is poisonous. His body rejects the adamantium skeleton. Bruce Banner gets hit by radiation, and instead of turning into the Incredible Hulk, well, he does transform into a Hulk, but it's a lot more akin to a giant, writhing tumor monster. And it's implied that he's still alive, he's kept alive deep underground, and is used to be experimented on. There's just so much in this story that is so fucked up. There are lots of people dealing with radioactive cancer. There are a few people that have turned to cannibalism, including Nick Fury. And the main character that the whole story is told by dies of radioactive cancer that he got from Peter Parker. Like, if there was ever a comic to show that Marvel can go very, very dark, it's this one. It's Ruins. I highly recommend you go read it for yourself. And all of that is not even mentioning the Punisher Max series, which goes into the deep mind of Frank Castle in the way that he should properly be portrayed to make him absolutely awesome and badass, but also very dark and disturbing. And then you've also got the Marvel Zombies series, which is self-explanatory. It is very dark in all of its implications and its stories. Then in the Ultimates universe, you have Ultimatum, which is just lots of people dying and some of the more fucked up imagery in the Ultimates universe that you will ever find. People love Warhammer 40k because it is unique to any other franchise and it is very dark and very gritty. And that is exactly what's captured in the comics I've just mentioned before. I mean, hell, if we could get, like, the people behind Ruins and then have them make a comic series about the Demonculaba, the birthing factories of the Iron Hands, my god, that'd be an epic comic book. By the Emperor, I would buy that so quickly. There are a lot of people in the Warhammer community that do fear of what will happen once Warhammer 40k becomes mainstream. It's a growing fan base that is still growing to this day. It was going to go mainstream at some point, but this partnership with Marvel may push Warhammer to become mainstream even sooner than a lot of us thought. But me personally, I love Warhammer 40k. I love Space Marines. I love the tabletop games. I love collecting and converting, building the models, painting them, and even reading this extra material that they give us in the novels. I love everything about Warhammer, and I love sharing my interests in the stuff I love with my friends. So if Warhammer becomes mainstream, I would absolutely love that. I would love to see Warhammer 40k movies, but they do have to be done right. They do have to be done without saturating the movie with plot elements explaining enough of the lore for mainstream audiences to understand what's going on. No, I like the idea that if there are people in the mainstream that watch Warhammer, maybe don't understand everything that's going on, but are intrigued and interested in it, they will go out, they will find out what's up with Warhammer, they will discover the hobby, and then we'll get more people involved in the hobby, which I would absolutely love to see. I love Warhammer, and I support Games Workshop, and I would love to see it grow into something bigger than anyone in the 40k community could have ever imagined. I love movies, and I would love to see a real, proper Warhammer 40k movie. Ultramarines was okay, but it really could have been done a lot better. It was a movie made for the fans, so it didn't saturate it with lore, but it did get quite a bit of its lore wrong. A lot of details were not quite correct. But for me, it was a very enjoyable movie nonetheless. I think that Marvel can do Warhammer 40k comics very well. They can capture the darkness of the whole 40k universe. They can show the epic grand scale of the universe. And they can make some very good character-driven stories. Like, as long as Marvel writers do not get political with Warhammer, as long as they don't write in nonsensical things like suddenly there's female space marines, suddenly there's, there's transgender, fucking. This is not an attack against the social justice warriors. This is not an attack against the LGBT community, but please, I implore you, please don't ruin these franchises that we absolutely love. 40k community, love Warhammer just the way it is. Please don't change it. I think Marvel can do this very well as long as they don't change what Warhammer is. I think Games Workshop will have to send some people over to check on to keep Marvel in check, to make sure they don't go off the rails and do something crazy and stupid that could potentially shatter the 40K community. But I don't think that Marvel would do that. I think Marvel would take this role on very seriously, because I think Games Workshop and a lot of other people in the world are well aware of the passion of the 40K community. We are very passionate people, but we're also very considerate, a lot of us. A lot of us have the financial stability to be able to afford the miniatures to begin with. So I think a lot of us have the understanding and the patience to be able to tolerate a lot of stuff. I don't see this as something that could shatter the community. I think that this is something that could be used to bring in more people into the community, which is very much not a bad thing. I would love to be able to talk to more people about what I love so much. So that is exactly what I think about this partnership. Warhammer 40K comics done by Marvel. I'm excited. I can't wait to see what they will do with this. I really do look forward to this a lot. So what are your thoughts on this topic? Please leave a comment down below and tell me what you think about this recent news. Like I said early in the video, the last discussion video I did, I absolutely loved the response. I loved seeing you guys in the comment section talking about the possibilities, and I would absolutely love to hear your guys' thoughts on this topic. There are some people that will not agree with what I think, but that's okay. That's what these videos are all about. I want to open up a topic, and I want to be able to discuss with you guys in the comment sections down below. I absolutely love talking to you guys. So please tell me what you guys think. Could this be the next revolutionary amazing thing? Could this be kind of meh? Or is this going to be very, very bad? Please tell me. I look forward to hearing from you guys. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. Hope you're all really enjoying yourselves today, and I will talk to you all later.